What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Saturday, April 19th. Time is moving quickly. 2025, and we are standing here at the Kaagbaan, where one airplane is approaching, and after that we are going to have a break immediately. Relocation flight by the looks of it, KLM, flight 9863. Number 4 on flight radar, tracked by 422 people. For some reason. Also the fact that with 457 people tracking it on flight radar, it is number 4, tells me that it is quiet on flight radar. Returning from Hamburg, 737-800, 43 minutes the flight time. And now the waiting game begins. Hadi Maria, Hadi Marissa, goedemorgen, goedenavond. Good evening and good morning to all others who have joined. Erwin, Kees, Greet, Patrick, Dag het niet, Clouds, Danny, Hen Air, Leo. Goedemorgen, good morning. Wolfgang, Servus, good to see you again, mate. So yeah, we have to wait a little. And there's not much to see at the moment. Interestingly, the north apron for the cargo platform is empty. No movement on the south side, as we can see. There are a couple of wide bodies parked over there. Now we do have some animal life here in the canal. Daisy just now splashed in. All is well over here, Wolfgang, thank you for asking. Hope all is well in Liens as well. Daisy is over there, and she's not alone. She's not completely alone. Two of the coots are over there. So, on the scale of flag, currently the wind looks like so. We have headwind with a little bit of crosswind, I think, for the airplanes that are landing here today. Let's have a quick look and see what is happening. So, this is the METAR that I pasted into the ticker. We're standing at runway 06, so the wind is mostly headwind with a little bit of crosswind from the right for the airplanes that are landing on the runway we are standing next to. It is not completely CAVOK yet. Few clouds at 1300 feet. The air temperature is 10 degrees C, 7 knots of wind, not very much, but a bit more than yesterday, at least around this time. Otherwise, no ceiling, 10 plus kilometers of visibility. Looking on flight radar, which is giving an error. Let's reload and see if that makes it better. Flight radar has been iffy this morning. I've been having trouble with loading it all morning, and it seems to be in error right now. Okay, now it is reloading. There we go. Orange Pride is coming. ETA 1030. That is going to land here on the Kaagbaan. The ETA of the Emirates is 1:30. That means it's going to go to runway 36 right, unfortunately. So yeah, in the meantime, a very good morning to everybody who has joined since beginning with the show. Jendorsek, goedemorgen. Waxetje, good morning. Claudia, good morning. Captain Jerry, good morning. Rob, goedemorgen. John Dutch Canadian, good morning. Dans, goedemorgen. So yeah, big picture overview. Few clouds. This is looking to the north. Most of the clouds at the horizon, still pretty far away, and looks like it's not coming any near where we are standing, anywhere close to where we are standing. This is looking to the west, more or less. Fidel Castro is also back. hunting for Pinky and the Brain. Hovering perfectly still. Not sure if it has caught something. I think it has. Looks like it had something in its claws. I think it had something. Well, as Fidel is having breakfast, the chat is filling with people and also with new members. That is thanks to Jerry Donnelly. Captain Jerry just now went ahead and gifted no less than 10 memberships already in the beginning of the chat. Mate, thank you so much. You really didn't have to do that, but you went ahead and did it anyway. Screw you, boy. I'm going to give memberships regardless. I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership from you will say thank you for it, Jerry. Thank you so much for your generosity so early on in the stream already. Welcome to the Skylines new members. Don't forget, you have custom emojis at your disposal now, 31 of them. And I challenge all of you members to use the emojis as inappropriately as you can think of. See how you guys can get creative. In the meantime, good morning to all who have joined. Don Viejos, Wietse, Tony, Andy Q, good morning. Minecraft Boys. Mrs. Professor also back, good morning. Marianne, goedemorgen. Reinder, goedemorgen. Klaus, goedemorgen. Switchboard Worker, good morning. Naomi, good morning. Albert, goedemorgen. Stephanie, goedemorgen. Andy Q also back in the chat. If all is well, we should be seeing KLM flight 1570 somewhere. At least according to flight radar, it is flying in the vicinity of Leiden. And, well, looking over my camera, which I now mounted a little bit higher than yesterday, so it's almost at eyesight, just a little lower. I'm standing at 180 tall, 6 feet approximately. Still not seeing anything. Roy, good day. Jacqueline, goedemorgen. Marcel, goedemorgen. KLM flight 1570 arriving from Porto in Portugal should be approaching the glide slope somewhere. Still struggling to see it. More or less standing at the same location as yesterday. Oh yeah, I do see something glistening. I thought I saw something glistening for a moment. Oh yeah, there it is. Only vaguely visible, but there you go. Hey Shikar, good morning. Shikar is tuning in from Delhi in India and is enjoying the channel. Thank you for saying hi, Shikar. Don't be afraid to say hi in the chat if you're new to the channel or if you're not new to the channel. It's not mandatory, but it is always appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many people are watching already, they're all friendly. Some of them are even knowledgeable. Hadi Han, goedemorgen. Gerin, goedemorgen. Marco, goedemorgen. Good morning one and all. Next arrival is KLM flight 1570 arriving from Porto in Portugal. That's a 737-800 and a Ryan Air Max 8 737 should be approaching next after that. The Max is flying base. I'm already checking out if I can see it somewhere. You think maybe it would become visible over there somewhere? I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's still a bit too far to the west. Or to the right, as the camera is now pointing to the southwest. We'll see. An easy start of the day. I'm surprised, or at least I should say I was surprised this morning when opening up Flight Radar to see what was coming to Schiphol, and I always check what Quad Squad members are underway, that I didn't see a single 747 airborne to Amsterdam, and there's the Max 8. Not one, not a single one. Don't know what is happening or has been happening lately, but I sure hope we might get to see a 747 that might be leaving from a nearby airport such as Paris, because no A340, no 747s, just the A380, and it is already expected around 1:30, so it's going to the wrong runway. Hey Kel, good morning. Aviator, good morning. Okay, so here we have KLM flight 1570 arriving from Porto in Portugal. That is a 737-800. I think you're right, Marissa. The 747s don't have to work on Easter during the Easter weekend. Bastards. Thought they were workhorses. Ryanair flight 420 is coming in next, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. 1 hour and 5 minutes on the way as it stands. It's a 737 MAX 8. 1 year old, first flight January 2024. And let's see what else is coming. Finnair today, A320 unfortunately. Good morning Karsten. Patrick, goedemorgen. Ger, goedemorgen. Andy G, good morning. Welcome to the show, one and all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing at Kaagbaan, runway 06. Primary runway for arrivals today. Wind is expected to stay in the same corner all throughout the day. Northeasterly. In other words, more or less headwind for the airplanes landing on the runway we're standing next to. Now that doesn't mean jack shit here at Schiphol Airport. ATC often does what they want. Do what they want. But yeah, on paper, the current runway configuration should stay in progress all throughout the day. Tomorrow is a whole different ballpark. The wind is expected to change throughout the day several times. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do Polderbaan tomorrow. Audrey also back in the chat, good to see ya. Satori, goedemorgen. Sander, goedemorgen. And all others who have joined, welcome to the show. In 2 airplanes from now, the first wide body is going to land. Or at least the second airplane from now. This is an EasyJet A320neo arriving from London Gatwick, and after that we are going to see Delta Airlines Flight 74, that's arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, and that's going to be the first wide body of the show, an A330-300. Finnair will be arriving from bloody Helsinki in an A320. They're deploying the narrow bodies today. Stephanie asks, where is this spot? This is Kaagbaan. Runway 06. Good morning, Joel Jens. Good morning, at the case. And there's the A330. 2 airplane glide slope shot here. Delta Airlines Flight 74 in the background. And EasyJet Flight 28674. It's like reciting a phone number. Arriving from London Gatwick. Now on my spec of flight radar that I see, I can also see that KLM Flight 644 is arriving Still over the Gulf of Yorkshire, but approaching the Dutch coast. Dutch coastline. That's a 78710. And I also see the contours of the label of KLM flight 592. Arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. That's 9 out of 10 times a 777-300. Today it is arrivals at Kaagbaan with perfect lighting, unlike the beginning of yesterday's stream, or maybe even the better part of yesterday's stream where it was cloudy. Now we're starting the day with sunshine and few clouds. Hadi Jan Willem, goedemorgen. HHHVS 2008, good morning. Delta Airlines Flight 74 up next. Arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, A330-300. 8 hours and 3 minutes on the way. Registration is the November 810 November Whiskey. 19-year-old airplane, first flight May 2005. Shikar says, I stayed in Hoofddorp when in AMS last year and I enjoyed the takeoff scenes from my room. Schiphol is best in Europe. You were staying in a hotel very close to the airport then, presumably. There are definitely some hotels right next to Schiphol in Hoofddorp that offer you great views of the airport and all the traffic movements. Talking about a buttery landing. Here's a demonstration. What is up, Alan? Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Green light, good morning. And welcome to all others who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing here at Kaagbaan, runway 06. A very good morning to all of you. Clear, shadowy figures here. A wave from a shady figure. And this is a clown's nose Finnair A320 arriving from bloody Helsinki. Rudolph is arriving. Rudolph the red nose A320 DAT, it says on flight radar, all white. That airplane that airplane with the red nose, flight 1301, 2 hours and 17 minutes on the way. 31-year-old airplane, first flight August 1993. Holy shizzle, that's an old airplane. Hey Ronaldo, goedemorgen. And Mark, good morning. Jan Jansen, goedemorgen. Jetstream Journeys, good morning. Good morning, Oliver, who is new here. Welcome to the channel, mate. Nice of you to stop by and say hi. Oi! Oi, jerk! It's the oi jerk. Rudolph is drunk as well. Oi, jerk! And Oliver is an LA Lakers fan. That explains the logo of the Lakers in your profile. Well, Xbox Drummer, good morning. And all the others who have joined, good morning. Transavia will be next, arriving from Nice, which is nice. Another airplane in the background that we can see already, that is an EasyJet A319 arriving from Newcastle, and after that we are going to see a 777-300 arriving from Johannesburg. The worst clown I've ever seen, Alan says. Hey there, Blackbirds, good morning. Paul, good morning. Good morning, Duncan. Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Saturday. Transavia flight 5582 arriving from Nice, which is nice. Boom, ba bum, bum, bum. Flight time of this flight was 1 hour and 27 minutes. Jetstream asks if there are any Quad Squad members coming in today. The only Quad Squad that was airborne this morning was the A380, and it is expected past 1 o'clock, 1:30. It's going to go to the wrong runway. I'm sticking around until it has landed. Don't you worry, but yeah, check it out. Otherwise, if there were 747s airborne, we would have seen them because I filtered them. Unfortunately, there aren't any. My only hope is that we are going to see some Queens that might take off from closer by airports. Sometimes there are 747s that are coming in from Paris. I haven't checked. I don't know for sure if they will. I'm counting on no, but you never know. EasyJet A319 arriving from Newcastle. And after that, 2 wide bodies. Hadi Cor, goedemorgen. Now let me quickly go over to the computer. Andy Q, mate, thank you so much. Andy just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships, 5 new members courtesy of you. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Andy if you are one of the recipients of Andy's gifted memberships. Don't forget to use those custom emojis. Use them, abuse them, however you see fit. The most inappropriate way you know how. This is KLM flight 592. It is arriving from Johannesburg in South Africa. It's a 777-300 10 hours and 37 minutes on the way. PHBVU, 7 years old, first flight September 2017. Good morning, Frank. Rens, goedemorgen. No Jens asks, hey boy, did you hear about the Düsseldorf Luchthaven? They start a Dutch motto week for Koningsdag with Dutch designs and Dutch activities. Did you hear about that? I haven't, mate. That is so nice. The Düsseldorfians going orange. If I'm not mistaken, that's next weekend already, isn't it? Yeah. And not on the 27th this year, because that's on a Sunday. It's on the 26th, Koningsdag, King's Day. So the Düsseldorfians are going orange and JD is running away from it. That's why he knew all along. That's why he went to Thailand. This is KLM flight 644 arriving from New York, JFK. It's a 787-10 Dreamliner, 6 hours and 25 minutes underway. The PHBKL, 2-year-old airplane, first flight June 2022. Hadi Clemencia, Hadi Taco, Hadi Cor. Goedemorgen, one and all. Hey there, Conan, good evening. Welcome one and all. So yeah, it's another day of arrivals here at the Kaagbaan. The wind is blowing more or less from the direction of the runway heading. In other words, northeast. That means that the departures take place to the north. Center runway, which is behind these trees, and somewhere over there, Polderaan. Right now we have a couple of narrow bodies coming in next. 2 of them to be precise, a 737-800 KLM arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle, and an A319 already visible Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to John Mackenzie. Is it Mackenzie or Mackenzie? Probably Mackenzie, right? Who super chatted and says, "Hi, I'm still lurking from here in East Asia. How's your Easter so far?" Well, John, for me it's been rising early and streaming. I'm lucky to have had good weather. Lisa is also working today. Tomorrow is her day off. I will have to go stream tomorrow, but the weather looks good, so I'm a happy camper. It's always nice to be outdoors with doing something you like. So I am one happy camper. John, thank you so much for your generous super chat there. Very much appreciated. Happy Easter to you and to yours and to everybody else as well. Charlene, goedemorgen. Alameen, good morning. Mackenzie. Right, I thought so. In the meantime, also a big thank you to Paul. Paul just now gifting a membership, and who was the recipient? I see Lars. Lars Thor was the recipient. Welcome to the Sky Lounge, Lars. Don't forget to say thank you to Paul. Paul, thank you so much for your generosity, and welcome to the Sky Lounge, Lars. Everybody who is a member, don't forget to use those custom emojis. They're there for a reason. There's 31 of them. Use them, abuse them. Klaus wonders if the Orange Pride is going to land on this runway. If all is well, it should. Since there will be only one runway open when it arrives. Adi Adi, goedemorgen. Tim, goedemorgen. Croatia Airlines, A319, flight 450, arriving from Zagreb. Qatar is coming. Already flying over there. Qatar arriving from Doha, 777 freighter. Flying a bit to the southeast. It's coming this way. Next up, Tarom flight 361 arriving from Bucharest. That's a 737-800. 2 hours 29 minutes on the way. Registration Yankee Romeo Bravo Golf Lima. 12-year-old airplane, first flight March 2013. Abalone Fingers, good morning. Good morning, Cor. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Paolo. Paolo is tuning in from Milano. Benvenuto. Planespotters Arnhem, goedemorgen. Domingo, goedemorgen. I will now proclaim the Turby at Orbi. Let's see, BA is coming in next from London Heathrow, A319. After that, EasyJet, no, not EasyJet, KLM with an Embraer 190. And after that, we are going to see Qatar. Adi Nieteun. Adi Milan, goedemorgen, good morning. Mercer says that the Orange Pride has now officially been confirmed for the Kaagbaan. Shouldn't come as a surprise since this is the only runway open for arrivals at the moment. Bloop, bloop. Right. I do see Qatar turning in. It is still just below the edge of the shed over here in the foreground. Should become apparent pretty soon. Hadi Hans, goedemorgen. Good morning, JC Joao. And one of Audrey's cats says hi. Meow. Meow, back to you. There's Qatar, 777 freighter that we saw downwind not too long ago. United is also coming in. It's flying base now, still over the Gulf of Yorkshire, but soon arriving here. First up, this KLM Embraer 190, flight 1352, arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. 1 hour and 10 minutes on the way. The PHEXF, 9-year-old airplane, first flight December 2015. If you guys have been enjoying the stream so far and you haven't already, consider leaving a like if you want to help to promote the channel. Likes go a long way, subscribing does too. To promote the channel to people who are also into live aviation streams like you guys are, but who haven't heard of the channel yet. Boom, boom. Gentle. No Captain Wheelie landing, but there you go. Right, time for a 777 Qatar flight 8205 Qatar cargo. Arriving from Doha, 6 hours and 9 minutes on the way now. This is the A7 BFZ Bravo Foxtrot Zulu. Andy has to go. Andy, see you later. Thanks for stopping by, mate. This airplane is 3 years old. First flight was in April 2021. Nope. Very likely candidate to go to the south side of the cargo apron to its parking stand. So we should see it make a right-hand turn. Well, make a left-hand turn to first get off the runway and then go to the right eventually. In the meantime, good morning, Elwa. And also a massive big thank you to Jerry for your super chat. 30,000 subscribers soon. I remember 1,000. Make history, like, subscribe and join. Wise words, mate. Thank you so much for the vote of confidence, the support, and for the super chat, of course. If you want to see how far we are towards the 30,000, take a look in the bottom left corner. We're now at 29,822 subscribers, and whenever you subscribe or unsubscribe, you'll see it change. We're almost at 30k, upwards and onwards, and there you see the 777 going to the right. Should make for a long distance headshot. As it is making its way over here, we also mustn't forget that there is another 777 coming this way. It is United. United Airlines arriving from San Francisco. It is a 777-200 10 hours and 27 minutes on the way as we speak. Registration is November 787 Uniform Alpha. It is 28 years old, first flight October 1996. Hey there, Lief Penny, good to see you again. Salut Jean-Yves, good to see you again. Hope it was well, mate. And we miss the long distance headshot since the triple just already took a turn to its parking. Let's see, more wide bodies are coming in. Chinese triple arriving from China, flying over there on the downwind leg, coming this way. And also quad squad just now passed overhead. Luckily today the contrails are visible better. That's military, isn't it? It is. Isn't that Strato thingy? The C... what was it again? C-17 or something? Lovely. Big fat contrail, although at moments it doesn't produce a contrail or it's vaporizing and really quickly, but there you go. The majority of the contrail, a very fat stripe. C-17, there you go, Globemaster, that was it. This is KLM flight 1930 arriving from Geneva, Embraer 190. 1 hour and 6 minutes on the way. 15-year-old airplane, first flight March 2010. Greenlight asks if there's any bird life in the water today. Well, there was a duck and 2 coots. They were swimming further that way. One of the coots is still there, as you can see on the right. Not seeing anything else over here. Almost looks like something is over there. causing waves and ripples, but we're unable to see it from this angle. Over here, nothing to see. Now unfortunately I cannot look around the corner. And there's a small patch of water that we can also look at from over here over there, but there too not much to see. Bird control seems to be coming this way. More bird life. KLM flight 1772 arriving from Berlin, Embraer 190. K4. Not making eye contact. Busy at keeping the runway safe, the runway area. Let's quickly turn back. Air Canada flight 808 is coming in from Toronto. It's a 7879 Dreamliner, and a bit further after that we are going to see the Chinese triple that we saw just now. This is Air Canada flight 808 arriving from Toronto, Canada. 6 hours and 30 minutes on the way. It's a 7879 Dreamliner, 9 years old. First flight March 2016. Drew also back in the chat. Paul also back in the chat. Good morning. Another big contrail being formed over there. Air Icarus. Twin jet by the looks of it. Not sure yet where it is going to. Helicopter. Audible on the other side. Airwolf. Well, it's not a police helicopter, is it? Interesting, interesting. Here we have a Chinese triple. Chinese triple arriving from Chongqing. Apologies to the Chinese speakers if I mispronounce the name of that city. Chongqing in China. 10 hours and 38 minutes on the way. 777 freighter. Registration Bravo 2080. 13-year-old airplane. First flight December 2011. That's an angry looking Chinese. I don't want to go to Schiphol Airport. I want to go back to China. Don't have to be here. Interesting to see how this cargo airplane isn't slamming into the tarmac. Cathay Pacific, take notice. Adi Patrick, goedemorgen. Reversers quite audibly used. And that big fat contrail is still not too far away. Now, having moved away from the sun does allow us a bit more contrast to see at least that it is a Dreamliner by the looks of it. Which carrier? I don't know. Now it is time to have a look at a very beautiful airplane with a very beautiful livery coming in first. ITA Airways Flight 120 arriving from Milan. That's a Bombardier C-Series 100, aka an A220. 1 hour and 17 minutes on the way. It's the EIMVE, that's Echo India Mike Victor Echo. Brand new airplane, began flying last November, so really brand spanking new. Indeed, Adri, I also thought it looked like one of those helicopters that drops off and picks up crews at oil rigs. You see a 777-300 in the background, that is KLM. Arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. And that is the Orange Pride, now number 9 on Flight Radar. It's getting more busy on Flight Radar because it's tracked by 417 people. And that now gets it to number 9. Earlier there was an airplane relocating from Hamburg, which was number 4 with 400 something people. So it's getting more busy, people are waking up and are using Flight Radar more. You can also see the intricate details on the tail and the back part of the fuselage. There's more detail in the livery than at first glance appears to be. An additional reason why I like this livery so much. The color, also intricate details if you know where to look. Jörg aus Hamburg, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Ewald, good morning. Ruben, good morning. Let's quickly turn around. 777, the Orange Pride, here it is. KLM Flight 598 arriving from Cape Town. It is, of course, the PHBVA 777-300 hailing from January 2008. $11 hours and 8 minutes it has taken for it to get here. Coming in from Cape Town South. In the meantime, inmiddels, the Dutch word for by now, 17 years old. Hadi Danny, goedemorgen. Now I have to walk to my laptop to press a button first, Frank, so yeah. First filming, then sound effects. This is Runway 06 Aviator. Guten Morgen, Killer Spieler. Hadi Floris, goedemorgen. Flores says, recently you wondered about flight time and how FR calculates that. It's from actual rotation until touchdown. Right. Didn't know that. That is good to know. At least that means there will be some consistency in the data I follow as well. This is KLM Flight 636 arriving from Las Vegas. And that is a 787-10 Dreamliner. The Chinese triple, in the meantime, slowly but surely coming this way, should become the first airplane to be parked on the north side of the runway on the cargo apron. Hadi Bart, goedemorgen. Goedemorgen TravelNet. It is lovely weather to spot, albeit a bit chilly. I'm standing here with just my vest on, and maybe that was a bit overly enthusiastic, although later at the end of the stream it will probably have heated up sufficiently to take it off again. Good morning, Björn. And good morning, Michael. Welcome back, mate. Good to see you again. I'm doing well for one. Hope you are too, mate. We miss you. You missed a lot of CRJs lately. Fritz, guten Morgen. This is KM Malta, I think. Yeah. KM Malta Airlines. Flight 394. It's coming in from Malta. There you go. 9H Ned. Ned is back in town, Netherlands. I think it was this same airplane that we also saw yesterday arriving from Malta. What a coincidence. Both airplanes from KM Malta arriving from Malta yesterday and today. Good morning, Raven Rock. Unfortunately, Mrs. Professor has to leave us again. Early night for her. Thanks for joining. Hope to see you again tomorrow. If not, then happy Easter and see you soon, Mrs. Professor. Bird life in the water. There is some more movement visible over there. And I think those... Yeah, that's Donald and Daisy? Or is it just... No. Well, yeah, no. Donald and Daisy, Chris Good. And... Hey, Gary Grebe is also there. It's a triple combo shot. 3 species of aquatic birds in one magnificent shot. Awesome. Lufthansa Star Alliance livery. Flight 988 arriving from Frankfurt. Hadi Dolf, goedemorgen. One, two, three, four. Canada deserves more money. And these are Canadians coming to get our money. This is Air Canada Flight 900 arriving from Montreal. 6 hours and 8 minutes underway. 10-year-old airplane. First flight made 2014. After that we are going to see a number 190A. Hey! Mr. Jackson, are you looking on flight radar? Have you seen what now looks to become the 4th airplane to arrive here at the Kaarbaan? I spy with my little eye. Something arriving from Munich. Gangster Goose, greetings back to Sweden. Gangster Goose asks what camera I'm using. That's a Canon XA60. Erik, goedemorgen. Good morning. That's not fair. You got told. That's something different than seeing it for yourself. Hey, it is the Dash 8 100 from the Coast Guard, once again flying out for a coastal patrol. That's a 37-year-old airplane. Two airplane glide slope shot. KLM flight 980 arriving from London City up first. Some smidges on my camera screen. There we go. Wiped away. So on the right we have KLM flight 980, that's number 190 arriving from London City. On the left is an A320neo EasyJet arriving from Boss Hell. And after that we are going to see the first CRJ of the show. Looks like a Pilatus PC-24 arriving from Bristol is approaching via the glide slope of 36 right. It is still early for landings on 36 right, so I'm thinking it's going to make a last minute right hand turn. To land on runway 04. Good morning, Jelmer. Good morning, Arjan. Arjan. Cargo hatch of the Chinese triple is opening. What's in it? Packages and parcels. Good morning, verificationer. Goedemorgen, Andri. So there's now a glide slope consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 airplanes coming in. Next airplane coming in is EasyJet A320neo arriving from Boss Hell. A320 Neorio. Oreo. Good morning, Rob. And good morning to all others who've joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at runway 06, the Kaagbaan. Looking to the north, things look like so. Looking to the east, things look like so. The sun is over there. Counter remnants are in the sky. This is what the south currently looks like. And lastly, this is what the west is looking like. I'm going to turn back so that you can expect continuous footage and not blackouts, because I accidentally pull out cables that are twisting up. First CRJ of the show, it is Lufthansa flight 2302 arriving from Munich. 1 hour and 18 minutes on the way. It is a CRJ 900 long range. First flight was in March 2010. In other words, it is 15 years old, this airplane. Dagno. It's Delta Alpha Charlie November Oscar. Lovely landing. Pilatus PC-24 in the meantime is over there. Question is, are we going to see it make a last minute turn, or is it actually going to land on 36 right? I think it yeah, looks like it is continuing to 36 right. If it is going to break away to the right, it's going to happen out of our view, unfortunately. KLM flight 1230, Embraer 175 arriving from Göteborg. In 15 minutes from now, we are going to see converging arrivals once again, with 36 right officially opening. I see a twin jet and hear it passing overhead, not producing a significant contrail, but definitely something. Delta? Question mark? No. BA then. Or is it Air Canada? It's not Delta, that's for sure. It's flying to the northwest. Now just a little bit north of me. Air Canada, yeah. Thought so. Thought I saw that the tail was a bit blackish. This is KLM flight 1002, arriving from London Heathrow. It's an A321neo, and we're going to see an E2 Embraer 195 after that. Flight time for this airplane, 48 minutes as we speak. PHAXD, FAXD. First flight of this airplane was last December. Now, let's quickly go over to the computer. Saw that Raven Rock just now went ahead, gifted 5 memberships. Raven Rock, mate, thank you so much for your generosity. You really didn't have to do that, but you went ahead and did it anyway. I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership from you will thank you for it. Don't forget to say thank you. Don't forget to use those custom emojis that you have access to for a month if you are a gifted member. Now, everybody who is a member, whether or not it is a gifted membership, has access to the custom emojis. Use them, abuse them. There's 31 of them, a lot of occasions that you can use them for, and I challenge you all to use them as inappropriately as you can think of. The PHNXT in the meantime. Landing from Zurich, KLM flight 1918. So Raven Rock, once again, thank you so much for your generosity. And welcome to the Skyline's new members. Let's quickly turn back. It is time for our first DHL A300-600. This one is arriving from Madrid. Number 6 on flight radar, tracked by 416 people. One hour and 46 minutes on the way. This is an oldie, but not as old as some of the others that we have seen before. Only 22 years old, hailing from May 2002. What? Interesting. Good to see that Martijn once again has sound, and I see that Paul has also returned into the chat. Good to see you, Paul. Welcome back. Time to go bananas, indeed. Or ketchup and mustard, hot dog, as some also call it. Nico, goedemorgen. 22-year-old airplane. First flight May 2002. It's the DEF. That's Delta Alpha Echo Alpha Foxtrot. Arriving from Madrid. 1 hour 47 minutes on the way. There's usually another one coming in from London. It used to be Gatwick, I thought, or was it Heathrow? Now it is Luton these days. After this, we are also going to see the first A350 of... No, wait, did we already see Delta? No, we didn't. Did we? One of the first A350s of the show, if not the very first. Corendon. These airplanes usually park on the south side of the runway. We're probably going to see it make a right-hand turn at the end of the runway. Hans is back. Good to see ya. Goedemorgen, top dog. Actually, rather busy here today. Quite a few people have already gathered. More are arriving. Corendon A350, flight 598, arriving from Curaçao, Willemstad, number 9 on flight radar, tracked by 351 people. 8 hours and 43 minutes on the way. Spanish registered Echo Charlie, November Zulu Foxtrot. They're planning a year old, first flight May 2023. And behind it there is another wide body coming in. That would be KLM flight 696, arriving from Toronto in Canada. That's the 777-200 First up, the Corendon A350, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. Hey, I spy with my little eye something blue arriving from Italy. Second chance of seeing that beautiful ITA livery. Lance also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Must have missed your arrival. Mate in Australia also back. Welcome back, mate. Looks like a beautiful day. Hope you have a hat. Mate, I still have my hoodie over my hat because it is a bit chilly still and I'm only wearing a vest. I'm a bit underdressed for the occasion, but the sun is shining and there's not a lot of wind. I still also have my fingerless gloves on, because my hands do get cold rather quickly. Let's quickly turn back the camera. We have a 777-200 coming in from Canada. KLM flight 696. Now there's a 777-200 arriving from Toronto. 6 hours and 36 minutes on the way. It's the PHBQA, Bravo Quebec Alpha. 21 years old, first flight September 2003. Hadistan, goedemorgen. And welcome to all others who have joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at the Kagbaan, runway 06, primary runway for arrivals today. Wind blowing from the northeast. Headwind for the airplanes landing here. For a moment it almost sounded like a 300. It had me double check. This is a 200, isn't it? But it was. For a moment it almost sounded like a 300. Could have sworn I heard the same word that you hear when it when a 300 a freighter or a 200 long range passes by. ITA is coming. You can see another airplane in the background. I think that is JetBlue. Let's have a quick look. All flight radar, see what is cooking. So Atlas Air. Oh no, that's from Almaty to AM. Oh yeah, that's from Almaty to AMS. That's not going to happen, and we're not going to see it. The only quad squad member underway now is the Emirates flight 147. Its ETA is 120, and that means it's going to land on the wrong runway. Quick update of the weather. We have 11 degrees C of temperature, 8 knots of wind blowing in the direction of the runway we are standing next to. So headwind for the airplanes. Still not KVK. Few clouds at 1600 feet. But other than that, I'm going to paste the ticker into the meter into the ticker in a moment. Let's first have a look at this beautiful second ITA Airways that is approaching from Rome. ITA Airways flight 108, A320neo. It's the IHO. And what a lovely HO it is. One hour and 58 minutes on the way. IHO is 1 year old. First flight was in November 2023. Converging arrivals have begun. That means that 36 right is now also open for arrivals for 40 or so minutes. Let me quickly paste the meter in the ticker for you guys, and then it's back to the camera controls. So the wind is still firmly in the northeast. Headwind for the airplanes landing here. Temperatures slowly but surely increasing. Meter has been updated. JetBlue arrived from Boston, Massachusetts. Flight 631, 6 hours and 23 minutes. This narrowbody has taken to get here. 6 hours and 23 minutes in a narrowbody crossing the Atlantic Ocean. Brave passengers. This is an A321 NX LR. First flight was in September 2023, so on paper it is 1 year old. What's going on over there? We see a LATAM Cargo 767 being pushed back. Hadi Dawa, hey there David, good morning. Leroy, good morning. Good morning one and all. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. We're standing at the Kaagbaan, runway 06. Runway for arrivals. Actually, rather busy over here, considering that this is, oh, and a departure from runway 04 in the background as it happens. BizJet took off from BizJet Central. So there's actually quite a lot of people over here today, considering that this is not an official spottersplaats. Converging arrivals now in progress, and we have an EasyJet A320 coming in from Faro. After that we are going to see Delta with another wide body, Delta Airlines flight 162, A330-300 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, if you guys have been enjoying the stream so far and you haven't already, consider leaving a like. It really helps to bring in new people like yourselves who are into live streams such as these, but who haven't heard of AMS Live yet. Although we're no longer a small channel, we're definitely not one of the bigger channels yet, and a lot of people who might be interested in our content haven't heard of us yet. Your likes really help to bring the content to them. We're almost at 30k subscribers. You can also see the number of subscribers in the bottom left. Slowly but surely getting there. Whether or not we're making it this weekend remains to be seen. JT, good morning. Good morning, Danny Rules. Good to see you again. Rodney, goedemorgen. Good morning. Dirkie, goedemorgen. This is Delta Airlines, flight 162, A330-300, arriving from Minneapolis in Minnesota. 7 hours and 40 minutes underway. November 822, November Whiskey is the registration. The airplane is 9 years old, first flight April 2015. Minnesota, Maxi Soda. I'll have any soda that now is without any sugar. No sugar. Not today. Not for the next couple of weeks. Not for me, at least. Question to my fellow Dutchies. Have any of you already seen rhubarb in the supermarket or in the greengrocers? Last week I went to a couple of supermarkets and I haven't seen them yet. It's one of my favorite foods to eat in spring/early summer. I could have sworn I already was able to buy them in April some years ago. That always depends on the harvest. Easy to grow yourself? Absolutely, if you have the real estate for it. For now, we are going to try to grow our own tomatoes, or at least when Lisa's parents were over a couple of weeks ago, her dad brought along 2 young tomato plants that we are now trying to cultivate in our backyard. But I haven't seen it in the supermarket yet, which is where I prefer to source them from when I don't have them in my own vegetable garden, my own non-existent vegetable garden. Boss says, 06 and 36 right open at the same time, isn't that risky in case of go-rounds? On paper it would be, but that's why they are separated spatially and temporally. So when one is landing, there shouldn't, if an airplane is landing on one of the 2 runways, there should be a gap and no airplane should be landing on the other runway. If you take, for instance, what you see right now, Iberia Express is approaching and you can see that KLM flight 1850 arriving from Munich is still pretty far away. So here is one airplane and the next airplane to the other runway is flying in the distance over there. Means that if this airplane now has to go around or does a touch and go, for instance, it still has enough room to maneuver and climb out before the airplane that is now next to land on 36 right is actually going to get close to the runway. And rhubarb is an acquired taste, JT. Not everybody will like it. It is very acidic, zuur. Even if you put in some sugar, which I always do, but if you make compote of it, you basically boil it down to a sauce and you eat it. Well, you can eat it on its own, but I prefer to have fresh strawberries with it. That's the perfect combination of sweet and sour. Whenever it is in stores and I have it at home, it's always a side dish next to dinner. Hey there, Noosa Goals. Good to see you again. Michel, goedemorgen. En gefeliciteerd met Clara. Congratulations. Next up, something red and the airplane that you see that appears to be a bit higher is actually further away. That's KLM flight 1198. That's an E2 turning in, arriving from Oslo. Björn Game says, is it possible to see Singapore Airlines taxiing to Singapore now? Where is it? Only if it is turning around the threshold, the southern threshold of the center runway. If it is going to the Polderbaan, would we be able to see it? But since it probably is going to take off from the center runway... Oh no, wait, it's going to the Polderbaan, right? Yeah, there's only one runway open, so all departures now take place from the Polderbaan. Don't think we are going to see it. The airplanes can now traverse the center runway because it is not in use. And good morning, Ina Mary, who is tuning in from Ireland, where the weather is only awful. Ah, I feel for you guys. We have our fair share of awful weather here in the Netherlands too. We're lucky to have the sunshine that we have today. Next up, Play, flight 460, A320neo. Make the chat bleed, guys. Arriving from Reykjavik in Iceland. 2 hours and 39 minutes on the way. 4-year-old airplane. First flight September 2020. Sounds like I'm hearing a helicopter or something, but not seeing anything just yet. What I am seeing is that Leroy is celebrating 15 months of membership. Leroy, thank you so much for your vote of confidence all that time, for the support. I hope you still like it in the lounge. I hope you still enjoy being a member. If not, then let me know and let me see what I can do to fix it. Also, a massive big thank you for the support, Leroy. And Charlotte is new here. Goedemorgen Charlotte, good morning. Nice of you to say hi. Don't be afraid if you're new to the channel to say hi like Charlotte did just now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many people are watching. Most of them are friendly. Some of them are knowledgeable. All can give crazy answers if you want them to. Redison guy says, I'm pretty sure I saw rhubarb at the Dirk in Zandvoort last week. Okay, so Dirk van den Broek, I have to go then. Okay. Went to several grocery stores already, and I didn't see any. There's also a Dirk in my hometown, so might have to pop on the bicycle then. Go over there later today. Thanks for the tip, Redison guy. Alan is signing off again. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to piss off people. Now, let's see. I am still a bit higher than the camera is, and I can already see that there's an airplane going to appear in a few moments from now. It's turning in, KLM flight 1030, arriving from Persenchester. That's an E2 Embraer 195. There it is. Ozari man also back from Benin in Nigeria. Benin City, good to see ya. So we have converging arrivals now. That means that airplanes coming in from the southwest and from the west are going to land on runway 06. And everything arriving from the east on paper should be going to runway 36 right. Good morning, Brian, who's tuning in from the west of Ireland. Soft day here, raining with no wind. Ah, the gentle rain, nice. Now, let's see what else is coming. It's a slew of narrow bodies, but one of them is a Vista jet arrived from Newcastle. That's an Embraer Praetor 600. That also looks to be coming this way. Air France Bombardier C-Series 300 is also approaching Dutch airspace. On paper, it should be a candidate for this runway. Looking up and around me, I'm not seeing any big contrails in the immediate vicinity. A bit further away, a few. Alan also back in the chat. Good to see you, Alan. One Alan is leaving, the other is arriving. That's good, because that means we don't have to number you guys. So yeah, although the sun is shining, it is a dull day today. Due to the lack of queens, no queens in the sky on their way to Amsterdam. I'm not sure if maybe there's one leaving for Amsterdam from Paris later, but nothing airborne. At least not in the beginning of the stream. Last time I checked, I thought I saw something from Atlas that was going to come this way from Almaty, but that's... If it is already airborne, it will land only later in the day. Hey, Embraer Praetor is going to the Almere. That's not good. We want to come in, we wanted to come this way. ATC, that's not what we agreed on. So the boring airplanes are coming this way. The Embraer Praetor is going to the wrong runway. Well, if you are into Embraers, this is your hour. KLM flight 1070 arriving from Southampton is next. It is an Embraer 175, and after that we are going to see an Embraer 190 that is arriving from Norwich. I'm going to drink away my sorrow with some Amos Live vodka. Embraer Praetor not even going to our runway. These are sad times to live in. Howdy Robert Jan, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Mitchell, good morning. And that's the Praetor probably in the background. Yeah, that's the Praetor. Continuing and not taking a left-hand turn to this runway. Bastards of ATC. Ali is asking a difficult question. What's your favorite, Boeing, Airbus or Embraer? That is a very difficult question to answer, mate. There's something to like from all, about all. Boeing has the Dreamliner, it has the 747, it has the airplanes that are equipped with GE90 engines. Airbus has the A350, if you can call them these days Airbus. Then the A220 is also Airbus, but I count that as Bombardier. And of course, E2 Embraers are also very nice. So yeah, hard to pick a favorite if you ask me. Just enough time to invite the elephant back into the room briefly. I heard it. I haven't sighted it yet. It's a bit like the monster of Loch Ness. Is it there or isn't it? KLM flight 1056, arriving from Norwich, Embraer 190, Eastern Airways, Britty Hopper, 30 minutes on the way now. Ah. Chris Cood and May are coming this way. Or no, it's just Chris Cood making a ruckus, but it is Donald and Daisy over there that are coming this way. Frog in my throat. I'm streaming too much and I'm talking too much. It's like that guy who was here a couple of weeks ago, who came up behind me and then was complaining about the noise I was making. He's right, he was right, I am talking too much. Liewe also back in the chat. Goedemorgen Liewe, good to see you mate. Donald and Daisy are over there. The next airplane coming this way is KLM flight 924. It is arriving from Edinburgh. Chris only briefly making a ruckus. Seems to be on his own over there. Reflections from cars passing by on the A4 highway. It's not the approach lights, if you guys were thinking that. Hadi Tom, goedemorgen. Hadi Peter, goedemorgen. It's the number of subscribers that you see over there. We're approaching the 30k. And you can see how far we are from the 30k subscribers in the bottom left. If you subscribe, it goes +1. If you unsubscribe, it goes -1. This is KLM flight 924 arriving from Edinburgh. 1 hour and 3 minutes on the way. PHBXH is the registration. Bravo X-Ray Hotel. 24-year-old airplane, first flight July 2000. And the number 175 arrived from Birmingham after that. That bizjet is now approaching 36 right. There it is, the Embraer Praetor. Thank you, ATC, for sending it to the wrong runway. VistaJet, arriving from Newcastle. 56 minutes on the way. And the registration is the D-Boss. Delta Bravo Oscar Sierra Sierra D-Boss. D-Boss is going to the wrong runway. And the boss is 4 years old, first flight somewhere in 2021. Pretty soon we're going to lose it. No, this one is actually turning in. Turning in to land on runway 04. Breakaway landing. guys, it might have caused a problem for this airplane in terms of crossing the runway. Well, yeah, no. Would have been close, but still would have been okay probably. Now hey, I was about to say I am hearing an airplane passing overhead, but that's not an airplane producing a contrail. What's that? Is it going to land? I'm not seeing it on flight radar, so it probably was an outbound airplane. Hey, there's a lurk. Good to see you again, mate. Welcome back, one and all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and we're standing at runway 06, the Kagwan, primary runway for arrivals today. Wind is blowing from the northeast. The airplanes landing on this runway are faced with headwind. The sun is out. Wind is calm. The Orange Pride already landed, and in 2 hours and 10 minutes or so from now, or is it even less? No, last time we checked it was 1:20. The A380 is landing. That was the LATAM Cargo 767. I thought it looked a bit like it, but couldn't see that well. This is another British hopper. No, German Airways. German Airways flying out of Aberdeen on behalf of KLM. It's the Dupree, the airplane that we used to know as Chucky. Dupree, from January 2008, just as old as the Orange Pride. Flight time was 1 hour and 5 minutes. Hey there, Navy Jack. Hey there, Yillard. Howdy, Marcel, and all others who have joined. Welcome to the show, guys. Now, I thought I saw only briefly. No, he's gone again. Russell Crowe. He was having a seat over there at those extendable lights. But he already is out of there again. Zico Sar, good morning. Yeah, no more Chucky, Zolurk. No more Chucky. Also, Marissa's beloved PH BVD in the SkyTeam livery has been painted back to KLM's standard livery a couple of months ago. It's all getting more boring and dull. Converging arrivals are still in progress. 36 right as secondary runway open for arrivals until approximately 11:40. Everything from the east is going there. KLM flight 1816 arriving from Frankfurt is the next airplane to 36 right. Before that, Transavia flight 6224 that we are now filming will be landing here on 06. It is an A321neo arriving from Malaga in Spain. 2 hours and 21 minutes on the way. This is the PHYHA. The first of the own fleet. The last letter of the registration will tell you if it is an airplane that belongs to Transavia's own fleet or if it is leased. If the last letter is one of the first letters of the alphabet, it's one of their own. If it's one of the last letters of the alphabet, it's a rental. This was YHA. That means this is one of Transavia's own. Indeed, Marissa, only 2 airplanes left in the fleet that have the SkyTeam livery. Let's have a quick look and see what the ETA of the A380 now has become. It is flying over Romania and its ETA is 124. In terms of the wind and weather, a refresh will tell us no substantial changes. It's 11 degrees C, 8 knots of wind, few clouds at 1600 feet. Not much to write home about. KLM flight 1076 is coming in from Bristol. "56 minutes ago it left from Bristol. Visa. I'll pay using my Visa card. Papa Hotel Echo Zulu Alpha. First flight October 2008, making this airplane 16 years old. And Air France with the Bombardier C-Series 300 will be next after this. The A220. The A220 is coming to town. Tronius Triple is being unloaded. That gives me time to go over to the computer and thank Hans, who is now a member for 11 months, almost a year. And he writes, will there also be a 31% tariff on the stream? No, since we are producing locally, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So don't be afraid, no tariffs will be imposed on you guys. Hans, thank you so much for the continued support. Hope you are still going to like it in the lounge for a long time to come. You'll be turning green next month, and Greenpeace is going to love it, and I will too. Thank you so much for the ongoing support, Hans. No tariffs in the upcoming months. Not anytime soon. Thank you so much for the continued support, Hans. Now, let's quickly turn around. We have Air France flight 1444 arriving from Paris, coming in next. And after that, a 777-300 that is already visible on the horizon. KLM flight 758 arriving from Panama City. That's a 777-300 And indeed, Charlene, don't forget that like button. If you are enjoying the stream and you haven't already, consider leaving a like. It really helps a great deal to bring in new people like yourselves who are into live streams like these, but who haven't heard of the channel yet, but who would love to join us and our awesome community if they only knew of the existence of the channel. This is Air France flight 1444. And that trademark geared turbofan engine whistle. You also hear it with E2 Embraer 195s from KLM, or E2 Embraers in general. The A220 and the E2s have similar engines. Not exactly the same, but of the same family. They are related. Now, talking about trademark whistles, the next airplane will also give you one. KLM flight 758 arriving from Panama City. That's a 777-300 9 hours and 18 minutes on the way. The PHBVN Bravo Victor November. 10-year-old airplane, first flight February 2015. Hadi Infinity, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again. Always nice to see the input that the pilots give to the elevators to make sure that the nose gear lands softly. Triple 7 has arrived, and that's for only one 777 now on the north side of the cargo apron. Will we see more? We'll see soon enough. In the meantime, let me quickly go over to the computer and massively thank Thomas Kavergaard, who just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships, 5 new members, courtesy of you. 5 new people who can use custom emojis to their heart's desire to spam us to death with them. You're not allowed to spam us, but if you use custom emojis, you are allowed to do so freely. Be sure to do so. Don't forget to say thank you to Thomas if you are one of the recipients of the gifted memberships. Thomas, thank you so much for your generosity. Welcome to the Skyline's new members. Christian is tuning in from Germany. Guten Morgen. Herzlich willkommen. Bill is also tuning in. Good morning. And let's see, we have another whistle coming in, another whistler, an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Next to come here. KLM flight 1136, 1 hour 7 minutes underway. And this is the PHNXL, November X-ray Lima. 2-year-old airplane, first flight May 2022. Bada bing, bada boom. Next up, Transavia to both runways. Transavia arriving from Preveza is coming in for 36 right. That's flight 5792. Oh! Use of the reversers. What do you know? And Transavia arriving from Palma de Mallorca is going to be the next airplane to land over here. Still a bit further away, the gear is already down. I do see a contrail that is already pretty far away. Over there. Nothing in the immediate vicinity, unfortunately. This is Transavia flight 5628. It is arriving from Palma de Mallorca. 1 hour and 52 minutes on the way. The PHHZE, that's Hotel Zulu Echo. Relatively old. 25 years old. First flight May 1999, making this a millennial. So in 8 or so minutes from now, the converging arrivals are going to end. 36 right will close again. And 36 center is presumably going to reopen as secondary runway for outbound traffic. Means that in 8 minutes from now, all airplanes coming into Schiphol Airport from then on will once again be directed to runway 06, the runway we are standing next to. And Ryan is tuning in from Dublin, Ireland. Welcome to the show, mate, and welcome to all others who have joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing next to the Kaagbaan, runway 06, primary runway for arrivals. Emirates Sky Cargo arriving from Aguadilla is going to be the second airplane after this. The first airplane after this is going to be an A319 arriving from Bristol. Hey there, Yazir. Good to see ya. Indeed, long time no see, mate. One of those names I remember still from a couple of months ago. Hope all is well, mate. Welcome back. Gary Grebe, the mother ducker, he was here all along, and now no longer visible. What the bloody hell. Hey. Now, over here we have EasyJet flight 25530 arriving from Bristol. A319, and you can see the Emirates Sky Cargo arriving from Aguadilla just behind it. In the meantime, I'm taking in a few sips of AMS Live vodka. Right. Not exactly a baby bus, but its somewhat bigger sibling. Arriving from Bristol, 54 minutes on the way. The OE LQE, hailing from September 2010. The vodka indeed is not available in the shop, Ari. That's going to stay private, unfortunately. Toddler bus. Right, let's quickly turn back the camera. It is going to be time for Emirates Sky Cargo Flight 9914, arriving from Aguadilla. 7 hours and 24 minutes on the way. 777 freighter. Alpha 6 Echo Foxtrot Whiskey is the registration. Foxtrot Whiskey. It is a brand new airplane. First flight was in October 2024. Well, if it wasn't for the vodka, I would still be consuming potatoes regardless. If not normally, then fried with a bit of mayonnaise. Looks like the Chinese triple is going to have company soon. This airplane, I'm expected to land at the park on the north side. It's 11:37 and I wonder how many more airplanes are going to go to 36 right. I think only one is now approaching and that might be the last one. KLM flight 1774, Embraer 190 to Berlin, from Berlin. Looks like it will be the last airplane to go to 36 right, and from there on everything will be coming in to runway 06. To begin with, KLM flight 1174 arriving from Stavanger. That's an Embraer 190. Another Embraer 190 arriving from Humberside will be behind it. And after that, a 777-300 arriving from Vancouver. And a Delta A330 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And once again, hearing outbound traffic overhead. Shamara also back in the chat, good to see ya. One of the heavy body, wide bodies. That is KLM flight 682. Looking to become the number 3 to arrive here. On its base leg, passing over Noordwijk. That's 777-300. The number 3 for arrival combined with the number 1 for arrival in the foreground. And this is not Britty-Hopper, German Airways arriving from Stavanger. KLM flight 1174. Another Embraer 190. DAG MP. Dag MP. Adrie has to go do shopping. See you later, Adrie. Thanks for stopping by. Morgen skydive gekkie. And also good morning to Luke Nos. And Michael also has to leave, get ready for work. Thanks for stopping by, Michael. Hope to see you again sometime soon. Ryan asks, what does the switch mean for the stream? Nothing, except that all traffic will be coming this way, so no airplanes arriving to Schiphol will get away. Until 1 o'clock, and from 1 until 2 o'clock, once again, we are going to see the reopening of runway 36 right. Now, unfortunately, the A380 is going to arrive in that time span, and it is arriving from the east, so that is going to mean that the A380 is going to land on the wrong runway. We still will be able to see it from over here. By then, the backlight will not be as bad as in the early morning hours because the sun will have risen a bit higher above the horizon. What's that? Little bird over there. Anyway. Hey there, Flinks, who is tuning in from Belgium. And Petrikov is telling us that there is a strata tanker coming in from the west. British Hopper Embraer 170 arriving from Humberside, flying on behalf of KLM, flight 972. Marissa has to go. Happy Easter. Thanks for stopping by, Marissa. Now, strata tanker at 35,000 feet in the vicinity of Leiden. I'm not seeing anything. You'd think it'd be producing a contrail somewhere over there, but I'm not seeing anything. So let's focus on what we can see best, and that is traffic to runway 06. This is KLM flight 682 arriving from Vancouver, Canada. 777-300 8 hours and 40 minutes on the way. The PHBVB, Bravo Victor Bravo, 17-year-old airplane, first flight March 2008. Controlled landing, that's how you do it. Cathay Pacific cargo crew, take notice. Thomas also has to leave. I'll sign off with this and get myself banned for a month. Barabbas walks up to Golgotha and calls, Jesus, Jesus. Christ answers, what do you want, my son? Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you too, mate. Hope to see you again tomorrow, and otherwise, if not tomorrow, sometime soon then. We're sticking around. Next up is Delta Airlines flight 164, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's an A330-300, 7 hours and 32 minutes underway. Registration is November 803, November Whiskey. It is 21 years old. The first flight was in August 2003. Transavia arriving after that, arriving from Barcelona. That's flight 5132. Not trash, but treat. And another Delta A330 is going to be third. So basically, next after this, a Transavia, which will be sandwiched in between two Delta Airlines A330s. Petrikov says that the tanker is now almost going to pass over your head. I do see something with a very small contrail right in my zenith. I think this is the strato tanker. Or is it? A bit hard to see. It isn't exactly producing a long contrail, and the part it is in the sky in makes it a bit hard to see a lot of details. I think it was. Next up is going to be Transavia flight 5132 arriving from Barcelona. It has been on the way now for an hour and 38 minutes. The PHHZG Hotel Zulu Golf, 25 years old, first flight February 2000. Hadi Anton, who is tuning in from Vienna, where it is cloudy. Jörg is also back in the chat. Good to see you, Jörg. And firefighter confirming it was the tanker that we saw. The airplane that you see now as number 2 is another Delta A330. First up, a 25-year-old Transavia 737-800. Arriving from Barcelona. Right, the Maatjes has to go. Thanks for joining, the Maatjes. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope to see you again soon. Next up is going to be Delta Airlines flight 136. It is arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Coming this way. Now, if you guys have been enjoying the stream so far and you haven't already, consider leaving a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Really brings in new people like yourselves who are also into live streams such as these. We're expecting the A380 in 1.5 hours or so from now. A bit longer, 1 hour and 35 minutes from now. We're going to stick around until it has landed. It is probably going to land on 36 right, which will be open again by then. Delta Airlines flight 136. Ali also has to go. See you later, Ali. Reverse is being applied there. And we have a long distance headshot of Qatar that has just been pushed back. Hey! Daisy is saying hi. What? Yeah. What? 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 Ah, there's Donald. Donald to the rescue. They're flying off. Daisy was saying, ready, steady, go. I think we are picking up the sound of the GE90s. The wind is blowing the sound of the engines starting this way. It's the GE90s that you're hearing from the Qatar cargo. Hadi Peter, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, one and all. Scholar J, goeiedag. So yeah, Qatar 777 is now starting its engines. We'll be leaving soon. In the meantime, a slew of Embraer 175s are making their way over here. KLM flight 1788 arriving from Hanover, first to arrive. KLM flight 1498 arriving from Barcelona, second to arrive. And KLM flight 1088 arriving from Cardiff, third to arrive. That's 3 consecutive KLM Embraer 175s. Hey, that blue, unmistakable, that can only be one. That was Ita. KLM flight 1498 is approaching from behind me. It is arriving from Barcelona, another Embraer 175. That's Donald just now passing by here, landing in the other part of the water. Okay, 4 photo bombing the long distance headshot of Qatar. Scholar J asks, arrivals or departures? This is arrivals today. Let's see, we have breached the 500 likes because Captain Jerry just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. Mate, you really didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you so much, Jerome. That is unsurpassed generosity once again. Thank you so much, Jerry, for your gifted memberships. Welcome to the Skylines, those new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Jerome or Jerry if you are one of the recipients of the gifted memberships. 31 custom emojis now at your disposal. Use them however you see fit, but do use them by all means. They're there for a reason. I think you guys aren't using the custom emojis nearly frequently enough, so try to use them the way you see fit. Whether it is appropriate or not doesn't matter. Jerry, thank you so much for your generosity, and welcome to the Aurora Skylines, those 5 new members. Third back-to-back Embraer 175, this one arriving from Cardiff, KLM flight 1088. And now it is time for a 737. What? Do they also come to Schiphol? Why, yes they do. Transatlantic flight 6916, arriving from Olbia, 1 hour and 48 minutes on the way, the PHXE, 8-year-old airplane, first flight June 2016. After that, it is an Embraer 190 coming in from Teesside or Darlington. That's Eastern Airways. KLM flight 1406 after that. 737-900. Not in the SkyTeam livery, but in the regular livery. And after that, a wide body. Finally, an A330. That's KLM flight 767. arriving from Bonaire. Right now, this is Transavia arriving from Olbia. Saudia 777 in the meantime on the move, having gotten closer here. Should be lining up to traverse the runway sometime soon. Center runway has once again reopened for departures. Lufty, in the meantime, just now has taken off from the center runway. Oh, and Qatar is now queuing up to traverse the runway. Question becomes, when will that happen? And what's that in the background? Oh, that's an airplane that is small airplane with one of those messages. An ad or whatever. Right. Qatar. Oh, was it Tarom? Hard to see from the angle. I stand corrected, it was Tarom. Britty Hopper arriving from Teesside or Darlington, Embraer 190. Qatar still waiting. A banner with the message, watch AMS live. Hey there, Jeff, good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. So yeah, question is, when will Qatar traverse runway 06? Will it be after this airplane or will it be after the A330? Might be after the A330, since there's an Embraer 190 after that. And it will have a bit more spatial separation due to the wake turbulence. Seven 737-900 arriving from Paris. Hadi Teun, goedemorgen. Nope, Qatar is going. Qatar is going. Qatar Cargo 777 freighter is traversing the runway right as KLM flight 767 is approaching from Bonaire. A330-300. Fuck D, as in fuck D. Fuck D and their parents. Jeff wonders if the 747-8 from Cathay took off yesterday. It did. It happened during the stream actually. Hans also has to go. Thank you for joining, Hans. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate. Hope to see you again soon. Let's quickly turn back. KLM flight 767, fuck D. Arriving from Bonaire. They were raising the nose wheel a bit after the main gear touchdown. Nice wheelie, that's the way to do it. Howdy Donald, good afternoon. Embraer 190 coming in from Newcastle next. And after that, Hans' favorite Vueling. Vueling already visible. That's the airplane on the left. A320neo arriving from Barcelona. And the airplane that you see on the right, that is KLM flight 954 arriving from Newcastle. That is an Embraer 190. Phexy, Phexy. For those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at runway 06, now the only runway for arrivals. Wind on the scale of flag looks like this. The wind was blowing in the direction of the runway heading all throughout the morning. Let's have a quick look on the map and see if that is still the case. A refresh of the METAR will tell us that the wind is still blowing from 060 degrees with a bit of variation, but it means headwind for the airplanes landing on this runway. The temperature is 11 degrees Celsius, 7 knots of wind. We still have no KVK weather. There are still few clouds at 2,000 feet, preventing it from being fully KVK, but the sun is out, as you guys can see. Beautiful weather here otherwise, albeit a bit chilly. At least if you're standing in just a vest like I am. Underdressed for the occasion, but that's okay. I'll live. I'll survive, just like how the landing gear and the tires of the 747-8 from Cathay Pacific Cargo yesterday survived that landing. Hey, Team Stripes, good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. So, let me quickly paste the METAR in the ticker for you guys. There we go. So yeah. Now the BizJet now approaching the glide stop of 36 right. Might do a breakaway landing on runway 04 then. Hans' favorite is coming in next. Vueling flight 8309. That's an A320neo arriving from Barcelona. Left Barcelona 1 hour and 44 minutes ago. The airplane is 5 years old. The first flight was in June 2019. And if you guys have been enjoying the student safari and you haven't already, consider leaving a like. It really helps to bring in new viewers like yourselves. People who are into live streams such as these but who haven't heard of the channel yet. A like goes a long way in people discovering this channel and joining our awesome community. Almost at 30k subscribers. You can see the current number of subscribers in the bottom left. If you unsubscribe, you'll see one going down one, and if you subscribe, it goes up one. Ari also back in the chat. Ohio gozaimasu. Good to see you again. And Rolf is tuning in from rainy Hamburg. Is it rainy, mate? Over here in the Netherlands, the sky is mostly blue all over. High cirrus clouds, but that is it. Although, now looking in the backdrop, against the backdrop of the runway, is the most milky sky that we have right now. Now, look away if you are Luton intolerant. The next airplane is coming in from Celiac City, London Luton, and will give you the cramps if you are Luton intolerant. BizJet is flying in, arriving from Ori. Orléans. That's NetJets. EasyJet flight 22515 arriving from London Luton next. That's an A319. Transavia 737-800 arriving from Corfu behind it. And a third airplane to approach the glide slope in the background. That's KLM flight 1164 arriving from Bergen. This is Guess the airplane type. Peter PDK is also back in the chat. Good to see you. Welcome back, one and all. We have two 777s on the north side of the cargo apron. Emirates Sky Cargo and China Southern Cargo. The Chinese triple has its hatches closed, so whether or not it is going to leave pretty soon remains to be seen, but that's probably the first airplane to leave. There's also a big airplane that just now left from the center runway. And that is the Qatar 777 freighter that we saw getting pushed back and taxi and traverse runway 06 just now. Michael DCA also back in the chat. Good to see you. Welcome back, mate. And this is Transavia flight 5312 arriving from Corfu. Where's that core FU? What will happen next? I think we need to cue the waiting music, because we have two airplanes on the glide slope right now, and after that we have to wait a bit. First airplane coming in is KLM flight 1164, that is arriving from Bergen, and after that a 777-200 arriving from Lima in Peru. The latter now just having become visible above the edge of the shed, or whatever it is that you want to call it. JB Paagman, goedemiddag. Edward, goedemiddag. Welcome to the show, one and all. KLM flight 1164 arriving from Bergen. Hey, there's Samir, Mogul. Next up, KLM flight 744 arriving from Lima in Peru. You know what continent that is on? That is Latin America. You know what other country lies in the same continent? Goddamn right. This is a 777-200 has been flying for 11 hours and 28 minutes now. The PHBQP, that's Bravo Quebec Papa. 18-year-old airplane, first flight April 2007. Let's see, the next airplane to arrive. Not sure if it is the Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds or if it is the A320neo that is arriving from Naples. Or Napoli, or Napoli. Naples. Flap surfaces, squeaky clean as always. That's typical KLM. KLM wide bodies. Hardly ever do you see any smidges or smudges on them. Smudges. Hey there Bob, good evening mate. Welcome back. Pendago, thank you for the kind words, great images, sound and comments, great channel, geabonneerd, subscribed. Thank you for the kind words and thank you also for saying hi and tell us. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi, it's not mandatory but it is always appreciated. Quad squad alert, quad squad alert, Lufty passing overhead. $7478? Where is it? If I had to call it, I'd say it's a 7478. Right, let's see. Our next airplanes, Lufty 747 and another quad. No, twin jet is flying over there. Not exactly sure what that is. Could be a 777, could also be something else. Hard to see what carrier it is. It's passing east of me. Looks to be moving to the north. Something from KLM just now took off from the center runway. Jay also back in the chat, as is Reina. Reina is saying hi, new to the channel and I'm a new subscriber. Greetings from Texas, USA. Reina, thank you so much for saying hi and thanks for subscribing and the kind words. Hope everybody is enjoying the content. If you are and you haven't already, consider leaving a like because that really goes a long way in promoting this channel and its content to new viewers like yourselves who are into live streams like these but who haven't heard of AMS Live yet. Although we are no longer a very small channel, we're definitely not a big channel by any means yet. And your likes really help to promote the content to new viewers, new audiences who would want to join our already awesome community if only they knew of its existence. EasyJet A320neo arriving from Napoli, Naples. Whether it or the Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds will be the first next airplane to land here remains to be seen. I think this might be the first next airplane. Oh. So this is EasyJet flight 24231 arriving from Naples. It is an A320neo. Basically continuously turning from downwind to base and now from base to final. I think this is probably where we are going to lose sight of it until it re-emerges past those stacked fences. If I shake my head a little bit, I can feel just the beginning of slight headache coming up. So what I am going to do in this moment is quickly take some painkillers before it continues and becomes something that is no longer something you can stop with pain medication, and you need to lie down and stuff. In the meantime, the A320neo has become visible. And is now coming this way. Lollar pilot also back again. Damon says there's an Austrian 777 near you. Is that so? I'm not seeing anything just yet. Not in the immediate vicinity, looking up. Or is it over there? There is a small contrail. Yeah, because it is such a small contrail, it's a bit hard to see where I need to focus. I thought I saw something, but I'm not sure it is the Austrian triple. Either way, this is an EasyJet A320neo arriving from Naples. Next airplane to land here. Above permanent. I think it might have been the Austrian triple that I was hearing and also seeing. There was a small contrail. It's a bit, well, let me see if I can demonstrate. Here you have an airplane that is producing a contrail. The airplane that I thought I saw wasn't producing a contrail, and here's an airplane that is also flying on cruising altitude that isn't producing a contrail. So it's a bit of a hit and miss. Some airplanes produce sizable contrails and are very easy to see. Others you can see or hear but hardly see them. Also a massive big thank you to JB Paagman for your super chat. A good stream needs a coffee. Groetjes Hans. Hans, thank you so much for your super chat. I'll happily accept your virtual cup of coffee. Although I don't have any with me, I'm sure to make sure I have some coffee once I am done streaming and get home again. Carmelo is also back. Benvenuto, mate. Hope all is well. Tuning in from Venice. Lovely to see people from across the world tuning in, having a good time here. The new German Airways livery is on the way to AMS, Dunn says. We saw it yesterday for the first time. I like it. I'm not sure if people who don't like the dotted livery of Welling will like it, but I for one did like it. Another Britty hopper flying on behalf of KLM, arriving from Leeds, another Embraer 190. This one not even showing it is Britty hopper or flying on behalf of KLM, just white. 11-year-old airplane, first flight January 2014, flight time 47 minutes. Dunn says it's on their way from London to AMS, so should be arriving pretty soon again. Now, big picture overview, the grimmest with the milkiest backdrop is now looking to the southwest, apologies. That is where the glide slope is. Looking to the west, looks a bit better. Looking to the north, it looks even better. Looking to the east, things look okayish. And looking to the south, you can also see more milkiness in the sky. So yeah, the east and the north currently look the best. And that's odd because normally speaking, the more you go towards the coast, the clearer the weather becomes. Now at Schiphol there's also a lot to see. This is an Embraer 195 from lot, arriving from Warsaw, flight 263, 1 hour and 39 minutes on the way. It is an Embraer 195 AR. Sierra Papa, Lima, November, Quebec. 10-year-old airplane, first flight somewhere in 2015, a month not specified. Adam also back, happy Easter. That's a landing that is looking very polished. A lot of jet indeed. Dance in the meantime is informing us that Cathay A350 1000 is a flight radar and is currently taxiing to 36 center. And Maria is informing us that the Garuda Indonesia retro livery is due to depart from 36 center. Yeah, if you could let me know when it is rolling, we'll have a look. We're perfectly situated over here to see departures from 36 right from behind. The lighting works in our favor. Hadi Sifried, goedemorgen. Goedemiddag. Good afternoon it is already. And KLM boy, good afternoon to you too, mate. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at runway 06, the Kaagbaan. Primary runway for arrivals, and until 1 o'clock, the only runway. After 1 o'clock until 2 o'clock, 36 right will be expecting, we're expecting to open a secondary runway for arrivals. Wind is blowing from the northeast, as it has been all the time. Headwind mostly for the airplanes that are now approaching. If you guys have been enjoying the stream so far, you have already consider leaving a like. It really helps to bring in new people like yourselves who are into live streams like these but who haven't heard of the channel yet. KLM flight 1354 arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic, and Embraer 190. And after this we are going to see KLM flight 604 arriving from LAX. That's a 777-200 Yeah, so we have two triples over there. Emirates Sky Cargo, still the hatch open. China Southern Cargo no longer has its hatch open. I'm assuming that means it is fully loaded and unloaded and is going to leave sometime soon. German Airways in the new livery is now 5th for arrival. And this is KLM flight 604, number 10 on flight radar, tracked by 316 people. Rookie numbers, we have more than doubled that as the viewers. Surely we can get it up higher. It's arriving from LAX, 9 hours and 40 minutes on the way. The PHBQC, that's Papa Hotel, Bravo, Quebec, Charlie. 21-year-old airplane, first flight November 2003. Bloop. Wagging its tail as the main gear had landed, had touched down, but the nose gear was still up. Even though we know it's going to go to the wrong runway, we're still expecting the A380 here later, and let's have a look on flight radar, see what its ETA is now at. So going to flight radar and once again clicking away the label just to see what is coming. There are now 747s underway. One is arriving 6:40 p.m. well out of the scope of this stream. let alone the KLM cargo arrival from Nairobi. I don't know what it is with the 747s lately, but we haven't seen a lot of them lately. The ETA of the Emirates flight 147 is 1:22, so that is in an hour or so from now. We're sticking around until it has landed, even though it is going to the wrong runway. In the meantime, good afternoon, Jorn and Crunch Wrap 69. Crunch Wrap, that sounds tasty. John Norris also back. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back, one and all. You're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. Once again back at runway 06 for arrivals. KLM 737-700, arrival from Milan next. Air Lingus, flight 604, arrival from Shamrock after that. Arrival from Shamrock. Arrival from Dublin, Ireland. Wow, that AMS Live vodka is really kicking in. I wonder when the 777 will be pushed back. The China Southern Cargo. It's been standing there with its hatches closed now for a while. Ordinarily, they're not sticking around too long after they have closed everything up. Shamrock flight 604 arriving from Dublin, Ireland, next to arrive here, and the airplane that you see behind it on the left is another Embraer 190. Such rarities. Shamrock flight 604 over here, A320, EIDEH, E-I-D-E-H, DEH. I still remember I had Greek in middle school, and I had a teacher who could sometimes be very creative with explaining stuff. In Old Greek there was also the word de, delta, eta I think, or no, epsilon, no, eta. And the translation of it, according to my teacher, was, I know that you know what I'm talking about. Something that always stuck. There you go. In the meantime, thank you all for your support. I see that we have hit 600 plus likes. That is terrific. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams. Make sure to hit the bell icon when you do. Thank you for the vote of confidence, for the support. I'm glad you're all enjoying the stream, and I hope everybody who is watching is. Delta Airlines flight 144 as number 2, and KLM flight 984 is now coming in. Second appearance of the new livery of German Airways, flying in from London City. 43 minutes ago it left from London City. 19-year-old airplane, but with a brand spanking new livery. I wonder what Hum thinks of it. China Cargo 777 startup 1:30. So still a long time before it is going to leave, another hour or so. Stephen also back in the chat, aka Just Play Nuts, aka JPN. Welcome back, mate. Hope all is well. Welcome to all others who have joined in the meantime as well. Delta Airlines Flight 144 is next to arrive, arriving from Seattle, Washington. 9 hours and 4 minutes on the way as we speak. And another airplane that we could see in the background turning in, that would be Iceland Air Flight 500. And that is the second consecutive day that we are going to see it with a 767-300 coming this way. This is Delta Airlines Flight 144 arriving from Seattle, Washington. 9 hours and 5 minutes on the way. The November 808 November Whiskey, which I'm pretty sure we also saw yesterday. 21 years old, first flight March 2004. And that is a buttery landing. Two for one bonus. Beautiful wheelie, and the reversers being applied as well. Gives me a good moment to go back to the computer and massively thank Stephen, aka JPN, for your super chat. It's the weekend. It certainly is. Thank you so much for a super chat that you really didn't have to give, but thank you so much. You went ahead and did it anyway. Happy weekend to everybody who is celebrating weekend. And Jerome is going to have a waffle. What? I could also go for a waffle, come to think of it. Best not to think too long about waffles. Okay, Garuda is currently getting ready on the runway. Perfect. Next up, Iceland Air Flight 500, 767-300, arriving from Reykjavik. 2 hours 41 minutes on the way. That's 1103 nautical miles it has journeyed so far. This airplane is 27 years old. October 1997 is when this airplane was beginning its career as a professional airplane. Alabama Owl is also back. And Han says, already told you last week, but it's not what you think that I think. Must have missed that message then. But if it's not what you think I think, you think, then you're probably liking it. Alright, Garuda Indonesia on the central runway. It's now the first to take off. Although Don says there might be a cheater in front of Garuda. I'm also looking to my right. I'm not seeing anything happening just yet, so hopefully we can follow this landing and then smoothly transition. Yeah, I see a cheater. I see a cheater now taking off from center. So the timing will be perfect. Iceland Air, Garuda, and then back to KLM flight 622. I think I can even hear the 777's engines as they're spooling up, but I'm not completely sure it's that I'm hearing. If all is well, Garuda Indonesia should now be taking off from the center runway, and it should become visible pretty soon. Garuda is rolling. Well, bring it on. Bring it on. For those of you joining us only just now and are thinking, what are we looking at? This is the Runway 36 Center, where Garuda Indonesia in the retro livery just now took to the sky. Then there's a retro liveried Garuda Indonesia on its way to Jakarta in Indonesia. I think this is the longest direct flight that you can take from Schiphol Airport. 14 or so hours. That stripe, I absolutely adore it. It is beautiful. It goes directly to the cockpit windows. Pity it is so far away. Now let's quickly hurry back because we also have a 777 coming in here. 777-300 leaving, 777-300 arriving. This is KLM flight 622 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. And the next little bit of beauty is Cathay Pacific A350-1000. Thanks for the heads up, guys. So back-to-back interesting action from 36 Center and to 06. Hey there, John, who is tuning in from cold, windy Edinburgh. Well, it's also a bit chilly over here when you're standing in your vest like I am. It's not extremely cold. The sun at least is shining. We have a bit of wind, but it's not very substantial, luckily. A350-1000 is also on its way, going to Hong Kong. Gary Grebe was here just now. He dove under, so where he will re-emerge always remains to be seen. Ah, here it is. Yep, and once again, going under. Now, where are the next airplanes coming? Looks like KLM flight 1602 arrival from Rome is going to be the next airplane coming this way. Somewhere over there, in the vicinity of Leiden, between Leiden and Lisse. So it will become visible pretty soon. Can I see it already? The answer is no. What I can see though is a contrail, not too far away, moving away from the sun, and already with the sun behind us should make for good contrast. Yeah, you tell me, what is this? Is this a Dreamliner? Is it Qatar? Could be. It's flying to the north. It's flying to the north. It's flying south to north. And there's our next airplane, KLM flight 1602, arriving from Rome. E2 Embraer 195, arriving from Stuttgart, is flying downwind. That's flying over there on the downwind leg. Visible already. Oh, I think there is a banana getting ready to traverse the runway. Thought I was hearing something. Yeah, no time to waste. The A300 is immediately traversing the runway. And rightly so. No traffic coming this way. Right. Let's quickly turn back the camera. We have KLM flight 1602 arriving from Rome. And that gives me a brief moment to quickly invite the elephant back into the room. And we're back. Hardly ever a dull moment here. There's almost always traffic coming in. It's just very monotonous at times. This is a KLM 737-800 arriving from Rome, flight 1602. 25 years old, first flight June 1999. Papa Hotel, Bravo, X-Ray, Charlie. And KLM boy says it was Boeing 767-400 from Athens to New York. Awesome. Don't see them very often anymore. Must have been United, or was it a different carrier? Gary in Amsterdam also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Welcome one and all. You're watching AMS Live, and we're still at Runway 06, which for another 15 or so minutes should be the only runway for arrivals. Although for how much longer, I wonder, because there is a lot of traffic already arriving from the east right now. And they're also on a course that might also mean that they are going to 36 right. United, it was United. There you go. Are there any other carriers that are flying 767-400s these days? Or is it just United? I'm hearing another airplane pass overhead, but I'm not seeing any contrails right now. Huh. Keep hearing things. Auditory hallucinations. No, but it is becoming a bit more milky in the part of the sky that a lot of contrails pass by these days. Yeah, so let's focus on what we can see best. Delta 2. Delta also, oh yeah. Wasn't there... I think we saw one a couple of weeks ago when that London fire caused so many diversions from Heathrow to Amsterdam. Now that I think about it, I think I recall having seen a 767-400 from Delta. In the meantime, more AMS Live vodka. Keep the juices flowing. E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Stuttgart is next. KLM flight 1830 and Air Baltic arriving from Riga will be next after that. Not yet visible. Bombardier C-Series 300. Can I see it already visually? I'm standing a bit taller than the camera is now mounted on my tripod. The answer is no. Sadly not. Banana is taking off. Yeah, indeed, it went into the air rather quickly. There it is. Is it going to Leipzig or something, or somewhere else? It's not going to London, that's for sure. Otherwise we would have seen it. Hey, we only saw one, haven't we? Is there another one on the way? There's usually also one coming in from London, but going to Madrid. Wasn't it also arriving from Madrid? I think it was, wasn't it? Anyway, this is KLM flight 1830 arriving from Stuttgart. It's an E2 Embraer 195, 58 minutes on the way. The PHNXU. The airplane a year old, first flight somewhere in 2024, the month not specified on flight radar. Bloop bloop. Karsten also back. Good to see ya. And Charlene has to go. Thank you for joining, Charlene. Happy Easter. Fijne Pasen. If we don't get to see each other again in tomorrow's stream, otherwise, hope to see you tomorrow. We have an Estonian flag livery Air Baltic now coming in from Riga, flight 621. 1 hour 54 minutes on the way. A220-300 Bombardier C Series. Yankee Lima Charlie Sierra Juliet. That's the registration. 6 years old, first flight June 2018. PB477 is watching from Stuttgart. Herzlich willkommen. Nice of you to say hi. Don't be afraid to say hi in the chat if you're new to the channel or if you're not. It's not mandatory, but it is always appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot. Many people are watching. Some of them are friendly. Some of them are knowledgeable. Kjell has to go. Thank you for joining, Kjell. See you later. And Yillard says that the DHL from Luton is delayed and is supposed to be landing around 2 o'clock. Okay. Well, I don't think I'll be around until then. Actually think about maybe wrapping it up after the A380, but that of course depends on the traffic. Chris Coot in the meantime over here, swimming, doing afternoon cardio. Now it is time for KLM flight 1818 arriving from Frankfurt. "48 minutes on the way. And another airplane in the background, that is TAP Air Portugal, A321neo arriving from Lisbon. This is the PHEXH, hailing from May 2016, making it 8 years old, soon to be 9. Marcus is also back. Say good morning for Brazil here. It's 7:48 a.m. Bom dia. Good to see Marcos. Hope all is well. 7:49. It's 12:49 over here. Is it only 5 hours of time difference? I would have thought it was more than that, but apparently it isn't. Michael has to go out and work on a Saturday. Well, then again, says the guy who is streaming on Saturday and on Sunday as well. Take care, Michael. And thank you for joining. Hope to see you again soon. Tapa, Portugal, flight 668, A321neo, arrival from Lisbon, now next to arrive. 2 hours and 18 minutes on the way. CSTXH is its registration. That's Charlie Sierra Tango X-Ray Hotel. Only 3 years old, first flight July 2021. Let's see, A320, 737, Embraer 190, 737. Where's the next wide body? Hey, Kuwait Airways is coming in with a 777. Which runway will it go to? I think I already know the answer, but I'm still curious. Is Kuwait still coming this way, or is it going to 36 right? Don says, but is this work or hobby? It is very much work, mate. This is very much work. But it is work that I like doing, but it's definitely work. I will tell you that. EasyJet coming in next. EasyJet A320 arriving from Berlin. 1 hour and 5 minutes on the way. 12-year-old airplane. First flight October 2012. Kuwait will be going to the Alsmeerbaan. Yeah, thought so. Right, well, wrong runway. Anyway, EasyJet arriving from Berlin, A320, a regular A320. Next up, KLM flight 1502, arriving from Madrid, 737-800. And, oh, airplane ballet in the background. KLM flight 1502, arriving from Madrid. 1 hour 49 minutes on the way, 24 years old, first flight June 2000. Right, it is an Embraer 190, a 737-800, an A320, and then looks like another 737 next. And Kuwait is already going to the wrong runway. That means that everything behind Kuwait Airways will also be going to the wrong runway. Group of people passing by. This is KLM flight 914, arriving from Aberdeen. 1 hour and 8 minutes on the way. 15-year-old airplane, first flight January 2010. It is now 5 minutes to 1, so yeah. Converging arrivals are going to begin pretty soon again. The ducks are back doing a flyby. They announced their arrival by quacking, landing in the canal that is perpendicular to the canal over here. You can see it is coming this way. KLM flight 938 arriving from Glasgow next to arrive. And I see that Stephen just became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member again, returning to the lounge. Welcome back, mate. We kept your seat warm. Everything is still the way it was when you left, so if all is well, you should be able to find stuff again pretty soon. Thank you for returning to the lounge, Stephen. I'm sure you'll find everything to your liking. If something is running low, let me know and I'll put it on the groceries list. And remember to use those custom emojis. You have access to them again, so be sure to use them. Pistachios, right, coming up. Don't think we have them yet, but I'll put them on the groceries list. I'll go for shopping later today. Jerry says the lounge needs more size small condoms. we only carry extra large here at AMS Live, mate. I'll put them on the groceries list. Air France flight 1640 is coming in next, arriving from Paris. 41 minutes on the way, A320. Oh, and the registration. Foxtrot Golf Kilo X-Ray Yankee. That does sound French, doesn't it? 15-year-old airplane, first flight November 2009. Hey there, Chris Sandford. Hey there, Loller Pilot. So, converging arrivals are going to begin pretty soon. Converging arrivals are going to begin soon. Extra large greetings to Lisebeck. What is up, chickie? So KLM flight 1294 arriving from Billland is next to arrive. After that, Vueling Kuwait Airways 777. I am not yet seeing. I think that is the Transavia that is first coming this way. Kuwait Airways is coming to Amsterdam from Kuwait City with a 777-300 Usually they fly a Neo, so let's see if we can catch its arrival. Should become visible pretty soon. It's flying base and now turning in. Unfortunately going to the wrong runway, but then again, so too will the Emirates A380, which is expected in 20-25 minutes from now. This is KLM flight 1294, 737-800 arriving from Billund. Vueling A320 after that. I think we now have the triple from Kuwait over there. Gear is extending. So that's Kuwait Airways, flight 127, 777-300 coming in from Kuwait City. Going to the wrong runway, unfortunately. 3 in the way, as often is the case. So yeah, Kuwait Airways, flight 127, 777-300 arriving from Kuwait City, 5 hours and 29 minutes on the way. This is the 9 Kilo Alpha Oscar Juliet, 7 years old, first flight April 2017. Going to the wrong runway, but so too will the Emirates A380, so consider this a practice round. I apologize to Han for missing his favorite airplane now, which you can hear land as we speak. You can see that the buildings are close by because all of a sudden Kuwait becomes a bit worse to read, a bit more difficult. It's not completely gone yet. It will reappear behind the building, yeah, briefly. These are the last moments. And there it is gone. Now, the sun also slowly but surely is going. There's a nice halo around it, as you can see. Bit of haziness. This is looking to the west. To the north, things still look pretty darn blue. Looking to the east, everything is also still looking good. So yeah, it's mostly in the west that and in the south that has the most milky sky now. Now, let's see. And indeed, dance. Aansmeerbaan for the A380. Now, before going back to following the airplanes, let me quickly go back to the computer, because I missed Marcos just now with his super sticker, a red box of popcorn. Mate, thank you so much for your super sticker. You really didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for the super sticker there, Marcos. And also a massive big thank you to Gary in Amsterdam, who just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships, 5 new members, courtesy of you. Hope everybody who just received a membership from you will say thank you for it and will enjoy the custom emojis that they now have at their disposal for a month. Gary, thank you so much for the support, mate. Welcome to the Skyline's new members. Turkish A330 arriving from Istanbul. Yeah. Converging arrivals have begun and are going to continue until approximately 2 p.m. BA A320neo from London Heathrow is coming this way, flight 436. Embraer 175 arriving from Kristiansand, you can see behind it. Transavia A321neo arriving from Lisbon. After that, flight 5954. And Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Geneva after that. So there's still plenty of airplanes coming. Ryan Air is also coming this way, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. And the Emirates A380 has now passed Hengelo and Almelo and is approaching. It is in Dutch airspace already, being preceded by a Saudia that is in the new livery, if I recall correctly, and it also has some stickers on it. Yeah, the Red Sea stickers. See if we can catch it as well when it is going to land on runway 36 right. For now, we have to make do with what is coming this way. And that is, to begin with, BA flight 436, A320neo, arriving from London, Heathrow. 36 minutes on the way, relatively short flight duration. 7-year-old airplane already, first flight April 2018. GTTNB is the registration. Gin, tonic, nuts and beer. Sounds good. Next up is going to be KLM flight 1186, arriving from Kristiansand. That is an Embraer 175 with a Transavia A321neo. Barely visible over there. Talking about your long distance glide slope shot. Duns has to go. Going to walk the dog. Thanks for stopping by, Duns. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Hope to see you again soon. Right, those are the airplanes 2 and 3. There is of course still number 1 here, and that is KLM flight 1186, arriving from Kristiansand. Embraer 175, 1 hour and 14 minutes on the way, 7-year-old airplane, first flight January 2018. A nice whistle, but different from the E2s. Meanwhile, Pegasus A321neo over there, going to 36 right. Air oink oink. You can see, you can see when the buildings are near, even if you don't see the buildings, because the distortion increases. Next up is Transavia, flight 5954, arriving from Lisbon in Portugal. 2 hours and 15 minutes the journey time. PHYHY. Last letter of the registration is one of the last letters of the alphabet. In other words, this is a rental or lease. It's not one of their own. Paul, also back in the chat. Good to see you. NJ, goedemiddag. Welcome to the show, everybody who joined us later. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and we're standing at Kaagbaan, runway 06. Converging arrivals are in progress. Means that 36 right is now also in use for arrivals. The Emirates A380 is in the Netherlands already. It's going to land at the wrong runway, which you already knew from the get-go. Already this morning its ETA was 130. So it never really stood a chance of going to the right runway. Let me zoom out a little on flight radar, see where that A380 is. It is now approaching the province of Flevopolder, slowly but surely. And then it has to go to the southwest, a substantial bit. Means we still have time for airplanes 206. On the right we have an Embraer 190, KLM flight 1932 is arriving from Geneva, and on the left we have a KLM flight 1450 arriving from Toulouse. That's an Embraer 190. thought for a moment we already saw the glistening of the third airplane. That would be Ryan Air, arriving from Dublin in Ireland. So this is KLM flight 1932, arriving from Geneva. It looked like it was coming in hard, but then it flared, and it flared sufficiently. Cathay Pacific cargo pilots, take notice. Right, in the meantime, you're also in the chat, good to see ya. And Samir says that his nephew will be arriving with Saudia. That's the airplane that is now nearing Almere. It's in the new livery with the Red Sea stickers even on it. Indeed, Jesse, unlike the 747 yesterday, flaring. What purpose does it serve? Well, no damage to your parcel, for one. No damage to the runway, for two. No damage to the landing gear and the tires, for three. Another rare Embraer over here. I'm also looking a bit to the right in the distance to see if maybe I can spot something that resembles a Saudi Dreamliner, but I honestly don't think I can see it just yet from over here, considering where it is according to flight radar. Next two airplanes to come this way, Ryan Air flight 3102, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Gary in Amsterdam asks, do we know if that Cathay 747 was able to depart since that landing? Mate, it actually did take off during the stream yesterday from 09. We saw it. It landed quite early in the stream and we saw it depart from 09 before the end of the stream. I even filmed it. Ryan Air flight 1302, arriving from Dublin, Ireland. And over here we have a mother ducker. Question is, where is it going to reappear? There it is, Gary Grebe, mother ducker. I feel safer underwater. It's my safe space. Right, what else is in the pipeline? Hey there, Jero. Transavia flight 6144 is arriving from Alicante. That's on the right. In the center, KLM flight 1640 arriving from Turin, and Bro 175. And on the far left was Vueling arriving from Barcelona, A320. In the meantime, another ITA is coming in to runway 36 right. ITA Airways flight 114 arriving from Milan. Which is barely visible. Over there. I like that motto. Zulurk says, flaring is caring. Indeed it is. Now, let's see. I think there we have Saudia. I think this is Saudia flight 215 arriving from Jeddah. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like a Dreamliner. So that is basically the downwind leg, no, base leg for arrivals. The 36 right. Another airplane behind it is a 737 arriving from Göteborg. So we can basically trace back and see if we can spot it. You'd think the sky, there it is, a bit higher. The sky is contrasty enough. So if we can see the 737 arriving from Göteborg and trace it back on paper, what would that leave us with? A big fat twin story chunker arriving from Dubai. There it is. That's flying just east of the Loosdrechtse Plassen and just to the southwest of Hilversum. That's still a sizable distance away from over here. But there it is, the Emirates A380 flight 147. Now, I have it on camera and I am trying to see if I can see the airplane in real life as well. I think I have it now. It's above the buildings, yeah. I'm sorry, Han, once again missing one of your favorites. Vueling just now landing here. Martin is also tuning in from Farnborough. Good to see ya. Welcome back, Martin. Mats also back. Goedemiddag, Mats. Emirates A380 flight 147. Pretty far away. This is the top end of optical zoom. Hey there, North Sky Aviation. Ooh! You guys are hearing GE90s being started. That's the Chinese triple going away. So over here we have the Saudia Dreamliner coming in. Saudia flight 215 arriving from Jeddah. 787-10 Dreamliner with the Red Sea stickers. lovely machine, and these must be the Red Sea stickers. Yeah. Red Sea, oi oi oi. There it is, Emirates A380, flight 147. Base turning final. Now number 5 on flight radar, this is Emirates flight 147, A380-800, arriving from Dubai World Center. No, Dubai International. Gear is extending. Six hours and 27 minutes on the way. Nominal flight duration. Alpha 6 Echo Oscar Zulu is the registration. Now I have a frog in my throat from talking so much. 9-year-old airplane, first flight January 2016. Well, Emirates is making its way over. Let me also quickly go back to the computer and massively thank you all for 700 likes, and in particular a thanks to Captain Jerry and to Steven, aka Just Play Nuts, for gifting 5 memberships, both of them just now. Let me see if I can do this simultaneously, being at the computer, operating my software and following the A380 with the other hand, because I do want to highlight them both. Thank you guys both for each gifting 5 memberships. Hope that everybody who received a gifted membership from you will say thank you for it. Let's quickly go back to the computer, to the camera. Bring in that big mofo in more detail. Welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. Don't forget to say thank you to either Just Play Nuts or to Jerry Donnelly if you are one of the recipients of their gifted memberships. If you are a new member, don't forget there are custom emojis that you can now use, such as Emirates, such as the A380, such as Quad Squad. Spam the chat to death with them. They're there for a reason, guys. They're there to have fun with, whether it is appropriate or inappropriate. I think my body is giving me a sign that I need to take a breather, so I'm going to make this the last airplane of today's stream. Using my voice for streaming and also for my day job constantly. It is a lot of strain. Now, combo shot incoming. Qatar 777. But we are going to see the A380 appear from behind. If all is well. Yes, there we go. Nice combo shot. Ah, there you go. Now, let me also quickly go back to the computer. I saw that Mats also went ahead and gifted no less than 10 memberships in the brink of time. Mats, mate, thank you so much. Unsurpassed generosity by all of you. I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership will thank the gifter. Thank you all so much for the generosity. Welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you to the gifter. That's the least you can do. You have custom emojis at your disposal for a month. Use them however you see fit. Now I am going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have. I will be doing another stream tomorrow. I don't know yet where I will be going to, what the wind will be doing. It very much looks like we are going to see different wind directions, so maybe the safest bet will be to go to Polderbaan also after 2 consecutive days of Kaagbaan. So I probably will be going there. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have. If you enjoyed the show and you haven't already, consider leaving an additional like, because it really helps to bring in new people like yourselves who are into live streams like these, but who haven't discovered the channel just yet. Your likes will really help to discover the channel by new people. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Thank you everybody who supported in other forms than liking, by subscribing, by gifting memberships, by becoming a member themselves. You guys rock. Also a massive big thank you for the mods, for keeping the chat friendly and accessible to all. You guys rock and are what makes this channel great. Thank you so much once again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe, stay warm, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye for now, guys.